Welcome guys, we're going to talk about the Sellsword. I'm going to show you the play style. I've been playing the Sellsword the most. I've also played the Assassin and the Knight, and I'm going to do a review on each of those, and then I'm going to do a side-by-side review on their skills, their ranged abilities, and all of the traits that they have, so you'll be able to decide what class you want to play. Now this is by far the slowest, but the most brutal class out of them, and this is my favorite because his moves smash. I think the Assassin is probably the easiest class to get into combat, to take the enemy down, and to jump out, because you've got to get in and out of combat so often. The Assassin seems like it's the fastest to do that, but still, we're gonna play the Sellsword because he is amazing. Each class has all these special skills. It's the skills once we get rage that will be in the bottom right. So you'll see me do these 3 skills. I'll let you know when I do them. You can change them out at any time. Once you're out of combat, you can change them. Also got a lot of hard-hitting, big swinging abilities that do leave us open to be attacked when we're fighting big bosses that kind of do these huge attacks. So you always have to have your roll available to be able to evade. All right, let's get right into the combat so you can see what this guy's all about. Netmarble has a content creator program. All you have to do is come over here and pick me under rankings. I'll leave a link to this down below. Once you select me, I'm going to be able to send you in-game rewards. I'll leave a link that'll take you directly to StewGaming. This is just like King Arthur Legends Rise, to where I'm top over here with 1,286 supporters. Thank you guys so much. This allows me to send you rewards. If you're not a supporter of mine, I can't send them out to you. This is through the official Netmarble website. This is their content creator program. And on April the 15th, I'll be able to send you guys 150 Golden Dragon coins after I submit the video to them for this, and a lot of other rewards. And they're going to keep doing this program, so make sure you go over there and support. It takes 1 minute to click and support, and you're good to go. And I'll let you all know on Discord and in a video when those rewards go out. The first thing you do with any class is your basic combination, which is light attack, heavy attack, heavy attack. And I have it leveled up so you can see that I start to glow. That way I can't be stunned while I'm doing that. But you can't be knocked down. You could be shield pushed. You could be thrown on the ground. Whenever the enemy does those red eye attacks, you're in trouble. So you got to get out of the way. He also has a ranged ability, just like all of them. I think the Assassin has the best range ability because it's just easy. It throws up a dagger, throws it out. The Knight has a crossbow, so still kind of in the face. I don't know. They all seem to be okay with the ranged. And then here's one of my special abilities. Here's my very first one that hits really hard. It's got some range to it. We had to build rage, so we had to get in there and do some attacks to build that rage up. It's on the bottom right-hand side. You can see I've got skill 2 and skill 3 ready to go. Skill 4 is a buff. Skill 3 does this big arcing axe move like this. So it'll hit a lot of people and it'll stagger them as long as they're not in one of those states to where they're doing like a super move, one of those red-eyed attack moves. You'll still stagger the enemy, and that way you can come in and do your hits like this. And once you break them, you break their like defense bar, you can do this big powerful attack. And that's the little white bar underneath their health. So we're going to come over here and do that to this guy. I'm going to do my shoulder rush, which is my skill 2 down at the bottom. It's really nice because it staggers them. It can hit multiple of the enemy. And once we get this guy broken, there we go. Now we can come in and do this brutal attack. You see how brutal his attacks are? I just love the way his animations are, how hard he hits with them. And he does have a bit of range, but I could swear that the other classes have just as much range, and they're much faster with their attacks. We're about to fight an elite enemy, so I'm going to save all these abilities I have down there at the bottom. We just broke his armor. We get to come in and do this attack. If he didn't die from that attack, he would get back up eventually and start fighting me, just like this elite is going to do. Pull the elite out. We have enough rage to do some of our skills right now, so we're going to come in with a skill 1 that hits pretty damn hard, staggers him a little bit because he wasn't doing anything. Then I go into my 1 light attack, 2 heavy attack, and get out. And I do running because running really is the easiest. You have the enemy do their abilities, and then you can kind of come in and do yours really quick. We're almost breaking his armor. His armor needs about 1 more hit and it'll break, so I'm going to do this. Then we're going to go into this heavy attack, and now at this point I can do more light attacks, like 3 light attacks, and go with some heavy attacks. But really, it just depends on what you're comfortable with, what you're fighting against, how quickly they recover, what attack they're going to do after that. Whether you're going to do, you know, a whole bunch of light attacks into those heavy attacks, chain some harder hitting abilities is what they are, and I'll show you the breakdown on those right when we're done with this fight. So I'll go in and do this light attack, heavy, build up some rage. Now we got the shoulder rush, and it didn't knock him out of that. You see, my shoulder rush does stagger enemies, but not if they've got that red eye, and they just took half of my life from that. So we're going to do a health pot, come in, hit him again, build up some more rage and not squander our skills down at the bottom there. They're all off cooldown now. I just got to build up enough rage to be able to do the second one. We've got enough. It's the lowest costing rage one that I have. Now we've got all of them. So I'm going to do the sweep. Take advantage of his armor break. Smash him. Now we're going to get him some hits. Let's do the shoulder rush. 4,200 damage there. Okay, red eyes. Let's roll out of there. We could do some archery. It's pretty hard hitting archery. And he's almost dead. Let's see if we can get like a finishing move. Whoa. There we go. Great. Okay, that's basically the Sellsword, and he is really my favorite. I'm not going to go to the other ones. The other ones hit too light. They dance around too much. They're just not a badass Sellsword, more like a barbarian to me. But these skills that he has are pretty fierce. This one is going to do a charge up attack, which will leave him very open. So I don't know how you're really going to do this charge up attack on high level, like a dragon fight or a big boss fight, because you really don't. I mean, you're gonna have to learn. You're gonna have to really learn when to do this attack. You can charge it up to do more damage. If you fail to charge it, it doesn't really do that much damage. It can apply knockdown for 5 seconds. It's probably not going to knock down any kind of boss, but it will knock down maybe the elites we were just fighting. And this rampage is another self buff, but it applies stun. Apply stun for 5 seconds, duration 10 seconds. Attack power increase, light attack speed increase, which will be really good for him. This fury that you start out with, I like this. It can hit multiple enemies, but it leaves you really open because you do this kick, and then you come in with the axe, and you're just sitting there the whole time being hit by anybody else around you, by archery. If they're not staggered by it, then they're going to come in and smack you, and you're locked in there unless you roll out of it. So I eventually went away from that. I love this Earth Shatter one. This you can do from pretty good range. You just got to make sure they're not doing anything at that time. I've been stuck by this. I've been hurt really bad where I've tried to fly in, and then they just did some power move and smacked the shit out of me. I flew back, and then they tried to pounce on me. You saw me use Violent Charge quite a bit. It takes less rage to do this, and it does have a chance to set them off balance so we can get some attacks in there. We have Ignite weapons so we can do additional damage, burn damage. The Knight has this as well, and the Assassin has Poison to put on their weapons. This is that big arc attack. You can see a picture of it. It hits quite a few enemies, so if there are a lot around me, I can do this. It also has a medium chance to kind of stagger them a little bit and knock them down, depending on what you're fighting. And then you've got the default attacks. Like every class has the default attacks where you do 1 light attack, 2 heavy attacks, you do 2 light attacks, 2 heavy attacks, so on. You can see the 3 light attacks, 2 heavy attacks. Now these can be skilled up, and they do different things. So we really need to pay attention to these when we play those classes. On this one, I've got that first ability really leveled so that this will do more damage and more effects for me, because I can only really get in there and do that light attack, 2 heavy attacks, and then I got to get my ass out or I'm going to get hurt. I can't really do 2 light attacks, 2 heavy attacks as often. I definitely can't do 3 light and then go into 4 light with 3 heavy attacks. I'd be stomped by then. This would be broken. I wouldn't even be able to finish this chain, and they would have knocked me to the ground or severely hurt me. But they do have additions here. Like when you actually kill with this or to complete this, this turns into where it, drags your axe across the ground and inflicts burn on the target for 6 seconds. So while that would be fun, and I hope I can eventually get there to do this as long as I get enough skill points, and you will over time, it's going to be pretty hard to pull off. But if I could pull off maybe this move, you can get a little heal in here, or rage. This is rage when you complete this. When I actually daze someone, daze an enemy with this strike combo will grant me 20 rage. That'd be nice to be able to build some rage faster and easier, but it's still another one to where I have to do 3 light attacks, 2 heavy attacks, and then I've got to skill this out and use this ability at that point to daze them. But there's a lot to, at least there's a lot to work on, a lot to play with. I'm really enjoying the game. I think the combat's the best thing about this, but it's all Game of Thrones. I've seen Jaime Lannister already with the golden hand. We start off at Castle Black. We go down all the way to Dorne. And then, of course, King's Landing is going to be right over here somewhere. You're going to go through all of this and go through different stories. It's a lot of fun. If you like Game of Thrones at all, you're going to really enjoy this. If you know nothing about Game of Thrones, you're still going to enjoy this. You're going to enjoy the combat and love playing this because it's a free game. You just download it and play it. No need to spend any money. So that's the Sellsword. Let me know your thoughts on the Sellsword down below. Come and support me if you haven't so you can get all those free rewards. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, I will see you all in a video soon.